Has everybody signed in first? Okay.
Notice of public hearing. Pursuant to KRS 174.100, the City of Glasgow will hold a public hearing on Monday, June 13, 6:45 p.m. in the Council Chambers, Glasgow City Hall, 126 East Public Square, Glasgow, Kentucky, 42141, for the purpose of obtaining oral and written comments from citizens regarding the proposed annual budget, the use of municipal road aid funds and local government economic assistance funds as contained in the proposed budget in total. A detailed copy of the budget may be seen in Glasgow City Hall during normal business hours Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Any persons or persons, especially senior citizens and handicapped individuals, who cannot submit written comments or attend the public hearing but wish to make comments should contact City Clerk Mona Simmons, 126 East Public Square, Glasgow, Kentucky, 42141 at 270-651-5131, or email cityclerk@glasgow-ky.com by 4 p.m. Wednesday, June 8th, so arrangements may be made to obtain your comments. Handicapped individuals wishing to attend the hearing should contact City Clerk Simmons by 4 p.m. Monday, June 13th, 2022, if special arrangements are necessary. A regularly scheduled meeting of the City Council will follow the public hearing.
Yes, and you guys came in, I left handouts over here. So the proposed road aid for fiscal year 22-23 is some repairs on Trojan Trail, approximately 2,600 feet, 50 foot wide, and this is starting from Kentucky 249 up to the first bridge. We'll repair as what's needed. Grayview Avenue, there's some repairs about 200 foot. It's from South L. Roger Wells Boulevard to Commercial Avenue. Commercial Avenue is 1,500 feet, 22 foot wide. Some alternate streets. Funding being available is Williams Avenue, 1,880 feet, 22 foot wide. American Avenue, there's some repairs at the railroad crossing. It's approximately 16 feet by 30 feet. Bowen Avenue, 1,250 feet, 16 foot wide street. And Circle Springs, 2,025 with a 22 foot width. That's kind of what the road aid is earmarked for. We'll pave or repair as much as we can is what we've got to use.
Anybody out in the hearing that has any questions about the road aid line?
Any streets that they feel it should be on here that's not on here.
Hey Roger, I just got a call this afternoon on, I know we were in a meeting the other day, but on, I think it's called Tanglewood. It's kind of like off of, they said going, yeah, it was like going up a hill. There was a spots or two, and they sent me a picture that I figured I'd see tonight. So I don't know if that waits till the next time we meet or whether I can just tell you that.
I'll get a work order in. We'll go out there and get us what we can do.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Did you happen to check?
Yes, and that was correct. You cannot use that for that fund.
We were checking to see if any of that road aid money could be used to push back the sidewalk repair.
Any other questions? Comments? Hearing none, I will determine that the notice of the public hearing is now adjourned. We'll have a city council meeting in about 6 or 8 minutes.
Bring us together tonight, Lord, in unity. Help us to listen and be kind and do things that honor you and help our community. We need you in a special way in these days. Culture is rampant, walking away from you. Forgive us, Lord, and bring us back to you in a relationship that will help not only our family but all the people. And we pray it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Madam Clerk, have a roll call, please.
Benel,
Present.
Gaunt,
Yes, ma'am.
Honeycutt,
Here.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes, ma'am.
Lowry, Neal,
Here.
Norris,
Here.
Trigg, Witcher.
Here. You have the minutes of our last meeting, which was May 23rd, Friday. After reviewing them, if you don't have any corrections or additions or deletions, I'll accept a motion to accept those minutes.
Motion by Benel.
Councilman Benel has made a motion to accept the minutes as published. Second by Witcher. All those approved signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion, minutes are passed. Before we get into the first part of the meeting, I'd like to clarify something. I've had two councilmen talk to me today about a statement I made when I was asked why are we having town hall meetings. I said for the most part, it's so each councilman can hear the complaints or the praises of what's going on in this community, mainly because City Hall gets dozens of calls a week. But if they go to the city councilman, something might not get done. I didn't mean that you don't do your job. I meant that if you're all together and you're hearing it from the individuals, it'd be a lot easier to address those issues. So I didn't mean to give the impression that you don't do anything, but I do want you all that can be there to hear it from the residents yourself instead of me bringing it up that I've had 3 phone calls about this or about that. And I think it would be good to have these town hall meetings.
Mayor, Chastity and I will be at the KLC Summit on Thursday, so we'll not be able to be here.
We'll take some notes. Oh, well, we record it.
Don't charge us.
You won't be fined. When you come back, tell us what we ought to be doing that we're not doing. How's that?
Hey, MD, thank you for clearing that up. I really appreciate that. I really do.
No problem, Councilman. First thing on the agenda is presentation of the summarized 2021 audit by Taylor, Polson and Company. So is that good? Are you done? It's never been so easy, has it? But she's going to summarize it for you, and then if you have some questions, why, she can answer for you. And watch out behind you, because you got one looking over your shoulder.
Scared of her.
What I'm speaking about, Chastity Lowry is on there on Zoom. She's out of town. So,
Okay, we've completed the audit for June 30th, 21, and you have a separate report, which is our communication with those charged with governance. And in there are just some things that we're required to report to you about corrected and uncorrected misstatements, and stating that those were not material, but we're required to list those to summarize those for you. And then there was just one material adjustment, and that was a prior period adjustment. It was actually kind of almost a reversal of the prior year adjustment for the bolt system, the cash to accrual conversion. And so that was the only material misstatement that was an adjustment that was made. We didn't have any disagreements with management, no difficulties encountered. Management has made representations to us that in a management rep letter, and and those were all appropriate representations. We're still recommending that you look at consolidating all your accounting policies and procedures in one centralized thing. You have policies and procedures in various areas, and those have come into place as certain situations have arisen. But for personnel turnover and stuff like that, it's just always good to have one centralized document. And I know that takes time and effort, and it's not going to happen overnight, but we still suggest that you work toward that, certainly. And then there's some comments about the bolt system, the city license, and occupational license tax. Those about vendors being, when you set up a new vendor for the city, that's the time to check and make sure that they are appropriately filing, have a city license, or filing the appropriate occupational license tax returns, and those kind of things. If we do things after the fact, we don't always, it's too late to make that happen, and so as you're setting up a new vendor for the city, somebody you're going to pay, if they're in the city or working in the city, then that's the time to check and see if they're enlisted in the BOLTS system, which is all of those occupational business taxes. So those are the two kind of findings or issues that we wanted to report to you. As far as the bound audit and our reports therein, our auditor's opinion you'll find on page 6. And it is what we call a clean opinion, as you've had previously, that these financial statements are referred to above, and those are like the, let me tell you exactly what the financial statements of the governmental activities, the aggregate discreetly presented component units, each major fund, and the aggregate remaining funds. All of those are fairly presented based on our audit and the reports of the other auditors of those component units, the EPB and the water company and the airport, based on their reports and our audit, that these are all presented fairly in all material respects in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Excuse me. There's some required supplementary information presented in here. That's management's discussion and analysis, and I would suggest that's where a lot of the meat of the financials is going to be. That's usually where you can, it's sort of broken down, summarized, and kind of organized a little bit more concisely than the whole rest of this report. So that's probably a good place to start. That information, the budgetary comparison information, and the pension and OPEB information, all of that's, there's some stuff that's required to be reported as supplementary, and we don't give an opinion on that because we compare it to the financials, but we don't do enough, get enough audit evidence to provide an opinion. Then there's some other supplementary, like the combining and individual non-major fund statements, and we do give what we call an in relation to opinion. In relation to the financial statements as a whole, those are fairly stated as well in all material respects. And then we also issue a report because of being in conformity with government auditing standards. There's a report on your compliance and internal control over financial reporting, and that would be found back on page 102, the very last two pages, and 103. And as far as internal control, we did not identify any deficiencies that we consider to be material weaknesses. There could be some that may exist. We didn't identify them through the course of our audit work this year, but we did not come across any that we consider to be material weaknesses. And as far as our test of compliance, we didn't find any instances of non-compliance or other matters that are required to be reported under government auditing standards. So, that's a good report as well. I know I've done it very hurriedly, but obviously with 103 pages, we'd be here tomorrow still.
Anybody on the council that, after you digest this, if you have questions, you can give Belinda and them a call, and they will explain to you what you're wanting to know.
Absolutely.
And once you digest it, if you've done with it, then you don't call them, but they will be glad to answer your questions. And Belinda, thank y'all as usual for getting this together and making it where some of us can understand it, or sometimes we might not. Thank you all.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The next item is Resolution 2022 a resolution accepting the 2021 audit as presented.
City of Glasgow Resolution Number 2022-blank, a resolution accepting the 2020-2021 audit as presented. Whereas Taylor Poston and Company CPAs has completed the audit for City of Glasgow for 2020-2021 fiscal year, and whereas Taylor Poston and Company CPAs has presented the City of Glasgow's annual report as of June 30th, 2021, and now therefore be it resolved that the City of Glasgow City Council accepts the presentation of the audit report and so adopted this 13th day of June, 2022. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, at Testimony Simmons, City Clerk.
Having heard the resolution, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
A motion by Council Member Honeycutt,
Second.
second by Council Member Benel. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Resolution passes. Next item on the agenda is Sherry Myers over on Pocahontas Trail. That's been a 2 or 3 year ongoing problem. She asked to come before the council. Y'all can leave. Y'all can leave anytime. Thank you. Between a couple of you councilmen, council members, and our codes officer, we've spent a lot of time out there. And maybe in the last week, we heard from the bankruptcy trustee about tires across the road, and maybe that is going to alleviate that, but I don't see Sherry here, so something must have come up. But if what we've got going on now doesn't fix the problem, then I'm sure she'll want to come back and talk to each and every one of you. But since she's not here, we'll go to the next item on the agenda, and that's yearly presentations. We have the fire department and the police department tonight. Chief Rock, you're up first, if you don't mind. Give us an update on what you're doing down there.
See if I can get this right. I got it going earlier today.
Got a hammer? You have a hammer?
I do.
You may have to hit it. Take it.
Sure, it won't work. It works flawless earlier today.
Well, you've got it all in memory, don't you?
Oh, I've got it in memory, but I
Does this one, maybe this one will do
no,
it.
I've got it. It's coming.
Okay.
I'm a simple person. I gotta let you see the pictures.
Small picture.
Yeah, you're going to have to raise the picture up a little bit. There you go. How about that?
There we go, huh?
How about that?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for letting me be here tonight. And you should have in front of you a presentation. I've got it all out for you. This is only till May 1st. Maybe that's one of my flaws. I got done a little early. I prepared it, so It doesn't have any June information on it. I'd like to start off by thanking y'all for letting me be here. I'd like to thank everybody at City Hall and all the council people for being so welcoming since I've started as interim, and then as I took over, I've asked a ton of questions, and everybody has been super helpful. I've got other department heads. The police department is awesome to work with, and I think that's great because in my 20 years, it's not always been great. Roger's great. Eddie's great. Just every department I get along with, and I think we'd be a better city if we all done that. Just a little stab there maybe, but we're going to start off, and this is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. I'm going to start off with a little bit of dedication to the people that's left and explain a little bit. Captain Barry Dunbar left, and he left us, he had 21 years of experience. All these people left a lot of knowledge. Chief Derek Rogers, 23 years. Captain Kylie Jackson, 20 years. Chief Adam Malden left with 20 years. He actually, me and him started together. Lieutenant Kevin Pointer with 21 years. That's in this last year, and that's a lot of time and experience that we've lost. The replacements, we replaced them with these three young men. They're already on shift. Firefighter Calvin Richardson, Firefighter Lincoln Keith, and Firefighter Aaron Atwell. They're all on shift doing awesome jobs. These three right here are our new probies. You'll see them out providing a lot of work and sweat going on right now till they earn their place, which I'm planning on putting them on shift July the 4th, the week of July the 4th. I just took applications for my battalion chief, and I'm planning on starting that all in July. 1st of July, I'll have him in place, and I've got promotions that will subsequently fall down in place right there. It's going to keep you all in a really good position as a city. Now to get to the numbers. We've had 45 fires. When you say fires, this is not structure fires. We've had structure fires, vehicle fires, trash fires, and as Roger will contest, landfill fires, which are always a long, hard process where we get a lot of help from a lot of people. We've had 363 rescues and emergency medical service incidents. That includes wrecks with injuries, lock-ins, which could be either a child or pets. And if you know the citizens of Glasgow, there's not a whole lot of difference in those when you talk to them because they love their pets as much as we love our kids. Lift assists, medical runs. These lift assists are the ones where we actually help EMS when no units are available because we all know they're pretty busy and pretty taxed as well. False alarms and false calls. We've had 153 false alarms and calls. These could be anything from system malfunctions for places having old systems to somebody that fell asleep while they was cooking their beans to the local nursing home where somebody thinks it's funny to pull that little red box and we go out there. We're also currently in a conjunction with the police department. They actually, hats off to the chief, we're working on a false alarms ordinance so we can start putting some money value to these false calls. And it's not so much about the money, but when you add money to these things, people fix their systems, which actually helps the whole process in that. This is here. We responded to 314 service calls. These call from smoke removals, smoke and odor investigations. And as you know, that we get a lot of people that complain about smoke and odors and so forth. The majority of our calls on these are people in distress. We help people that have fallen and can't get up. A lot of people don't understand this, and I've joked for years about naming our truck the bounty truck because we're the quicker picker-uppers. But we respond to so many people, and I try to explain to them to call us because we don't care to help people up. You know, we're going to be those people one day. And I tell my people that complain all the way there and all the way back, but don't let me hear tell that you complain while you're there, because I would guarantee you that none of those people want to have somebody to come and pick them up. And the flip side of that, if we get to going more than once, unfortunately, we need to notify somebody. Not that we mind picking them up, but the fact that if we're picking them up a lot, they can't take care of themselves, and they could fall in the middle of the night or when they couldn't call us. So that's our responsibility as well. But if you have friends, if you have family members, if they fall or somebody needs help, call us. We're here. We've taken a lot more silly calls than helping someone. That's what it's all about. And so many times the person you go to help is not the one that's in bad shape. It's the spouse that's tried for an hour and a half to get them up because they didn't want to call us. And that's heartbreaking when you get there. And that's what we don't want. Good intent calls, 45 good intent calls. These are usually calls where we're canceled en route, where it's an illegal burn or an alarm activation where they say we burnt popcorn and we turn around and go back, even though we still will send a truck just in case it's more than that popcorn and somebody just wanted to stay out of trouble. Fire inspections. I pulled up some different information today, but I didn't want to change this. We have inspectors, one on each shift, and they've done 139 fire inspections so far, and they're continuing to do those daily on each shift. And I found that those numbers are actually skewed, and next year I'll find the correct place to pull the reports that actually tells you how many that we have violations on and how many that have good inspections, so forth and so on that. Same stuff, different year. Now we're going to talk about some of the stuff that you probably haven't heard about. And I think this is the stuff that's important so you know what we do. We do business tours. This started with Chief when Adam was here, Adam Malton, and that's why I couldn't find his information before December. But we started getting our crews out, and we're doing business tours. This is where we're walking around in these buildings. We're not inspecting. We don't want them to be scared of us. This one we're walking around and looking and seeing what kind of shape they're in, because it's a lot different if it's on fire and there's smoke in them, and we can find the hazards. We can find different things you didn't know. Like a lot of people would never know that the McDonald's has a basement. You know, they say, "You're kidding." Yes, it does. It's got a basement in the McDonald's. It's not a big basement, but it's got a basement. Those are stuff my people have to know. All the little stuff. That's why they walk around. Plus, it lets us get out in the community to let people know that we're there for them. In 2018, the overall age of the department was 36 years old. Now, these numbers are going to startle you a little bit, but everything's going to be all right because you still got the best department around. The overall years of experience was 9. In 2022, the average age was 33, and the years of experience was 7. Now we're going to break that down. Now, this is your current department. The average age of a firefighter is 30 years old with the average years of experience of 5. And that's pretty decent, except for I got 2 leaving next year, that one's close to 50 and one's in his 40s. So do the math. Those numbers are probably going to come down. We're going to have a young bunch. The sergeants, average age is 29. That's the one that drives these apparatuses that you help us buy when we need them. And they've got about a year and a half experience doing that. Our lieutenants and captains, average age is 40, with about 2.5 years of experience in the officer's seat. That's a full-time officer's seat. 2025, as you can see, this is our projections. The average age is going to be about 31 at the department, with an average of about 5 years experience. They're slowly going down, and I didn't want to scare you and break the years of experience and the age down for the sergeants and the officers on these. But on the good side, things you didn't know we did, we've conducted up until May 1,266 hours of in-house training. So to think that, I want you to know that we're out there training, doing stuff all the time. These lets us get our 100 hours that we were required. We surpassed those last year and are on track to surpass them this year as well. Outside training, we've hosted 3 state classes so far at our training center. I've been in contact with them and telling them if they want a class, let us know, we're going to have it. Because every time we have that class, I got a crew that goes, and the county departments come into us as well. And that only helps everybody out, the better we can work together. New recruits, we're on our 3rd recruit class this year. And our guys are about recruited out. And these guys, we train them all in-house. There's no academy. They've got a academy that they're trying to start, but right now we're it. We train our own people. We call our own people. And it's not an easy process, and you can ask about any of them, and they'll tell you. Every year, we visually inspect and pressure test 15,000 feet of hose on these trucks. Don't hire it out. We touch it. We tested all ourselves, and we check about 900 hydrants. That's what the city's got, and we turn every one of those on, and we flow test them every year. Maintenance, we all know that the firemen can fix anything, and we try our best to save that money. We fixed bathrooms, we painted our own training center with the help of finance. We got some money and helped us get some cabinets and Lowe's. We put the cabinets in, we tiled it ourselves, done all that work ourselves. And the guys, that's what we do. So we're trying to save your money that you do give us and make it stretch as far as we can. Now it's time for the fun stuff. This is what we do. We get to go see the kids. And this year we're going to start to see the older kids because we're going to need them as firefighters. Number one question in every interview board, how do you keep them once you get them? And this is how we keep them. People that love what they do always seem to be the best at it. True or false? It's true. You know, people are proud of where they work when they have their engagement pictures taken there. It's not a job, they're not co-workers, it's a career and their family. It's not a firehouse, it's a home, a third of the year. That's how we keep them. Family pictures, they pay to have these done. Know anybody at Aki Bono that has their pictures taken out on the line with their kids? They do it at the firehouse. That's how we keep them. Love of the job. Look at here. Those babies that nobody wants to let you hold, ours takes our old grungy helmet and covers it up and pays high dollar to have it put in the pictures. Now on a good note, I don't know if it's COVID, I don't know if it's water, but the fire department's had 4 new additions since August of last year, and we're expecting 4 more by Christmas. I'm sorry I've been long-winded, and I know the chief of police is going to be mad at me, but I'm sorry, Jennifer. But I felt that you needed to know a little bit about us because we're a family. You don't just pay for firemen. You pay for a group that you got the budget. You know, the police, the fire, I can speak for them. They don't do it for the money. They got to have it or they're going to go somewhere else. I mean, that's what it is. But they've got to love it. That's why they go in these burning buildings and that's why they do what they do. Does anybody have any questions? I'm ready, and I'll shoot a line if you need me to.
I just have one question.
Yes.
I would ask you, Chief Rock, what's your concerns looking out in the next 3 to 5 years?
Concerns next 3 to 5 years? You know, that's the concerns next 3 to 5 months. I'd love to look out 3 to 5 years.
Sure.
I'm a realist. The economy, hold on, is all I can say. You know, I believe in the people here on our raises. We've got to have more money, but I'm also a realist to know that we got to be able to pay for that money. So that's why I'm trying to make them love it. So I promote their second jobs. I wanted to say I had 0 people this year to try out for Bowling Green. I met with the Bowling Green chief, first time that I think we've met together in a long time since I can remember. I told him, you didn't get none of my people this year. You know, that's a big hit for us because that's a big department. They pay big money. And I tell my people, thank you. 3 to 5 years, I guess one of the old firemen said, if we get a fire and we're short, I guess we'll just have to go put it out. You know, we do the best we can. I don't have a negative thing to say about anybody. Everybody's worked with me and they've done the best they could for me. I've had a hard time understanding the money part, not how money works, because I know how that works. And sometimes I feel like I'm one of the few that understands how that works, because I'm asking for needs, and it may bite me in the butt, and if it does, I'm going to be mad, because I'm not asking for more than I need, and I'm trusting that y'all see that, because if not, then I'm going to come back and I'll start like everybody else and ask for more than I need and hope to get less. But I'm not that person. I got a bunch that I would put against anybody. 3 to 5 years, I got a couple leaving next year. I got one that lives in Lebanon. If he gets a job in Lebanon, I can't blame him. I'll never fault anybody for leaving if it's for the better of them and their family. I think then I'd be a hypocrite by saying I care about my people and not care enough to let them go do better for their family. If you don't want to work for me, if you don't want to work for y'all, I don't want you. The citizens don't need you. So in 3 to 5 years, I thought about this week, I'm gonna still be here. I told my bunch, I guess they're gonna have to change, because right now, I mean, I got it easy. I got it easier than I ever have, except for having to come up and do this. My guys are great. They make my life easy. Now granted, when they mess up, we're best at that too. I mean, we don't call nothing. If we're gonna mess up, we're gonna mess up big too, but I got a bunch that love it again. That's the reason I stayed. I swore I'd never be here. 3 to 5 years, I'm gonna be right here. I'm gonna ask for what I need. I'm gonna try to give you more information next time. Make Jennifer even madder next time for staying up here too long. Any more questions?
Yeah,
Chief,
I just got a,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I don't have a question. I just want to make a statement. I absolutely love your presentation, and it's very humbling to hear you speak about your department, and you all seem like your family, and I absolutely love that. I love seeing that and hearing it.
Thank you, and we are family. That's what I want, trying to get everybody to know. Because, I mean, we care about each other, and, you know, and that's what it's supposed to be about.
I'll just make a quick comment. I know a lot of your people, I see them a few days a week, they love you, and what you just spouted off, that's what they believe in their heart. So kudos to you, kudos to your people. They love you, you love them, and that's when things really get pretty fun. So thank you.
You're exactly right. Thank you, Mr. Collins.
Chief, thank you. I see now that we're giving you too much money because you said you had it made. So we're not going to take anything away. But I talk to the chief at least anywhere from 1 to 5 times a week, and he's just like during the day, he's just like he is tonight. He tells you like it is, and if you don't like it, convince him how it needs to be better. And we really appreciate what you do for the city, and I can speak for this entire body here. You're doing a good job. Just keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. The department's doing a job. Right away. Thank you.
Just run that in reverse for Chief Arbogast, and then she'll give you the numbers.
I got hers ready. She's gonna kill me. Y'all know that, right?
Well, it won't be the first time you're
It will
threatened.
not be.
It won't be the
She
first
still
time
loves
you
me,
were
y'all.
threatened. Next, we have Chief Arbogast to give the police report.
There you don't get no fancy presentation from me. Short, sweet, to the point. But I will brag on me and Rod, me and the chief, we get along well. And I have to say, all of us, the departments, get along well. We're doing good. But Chief's right, we are one big happy family. All right, I'm gonna give you a few numbers, but that's like I said, I don't have that pretty presentation. Gotta make it quick tonight. All right, 2021 CAS, we was about 36,000 calls last year. Felonies was up 581, misdemeanors were 608. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's enough of that. That's some numbers. So did we answer a lot of calls? Absolutely. But the compliments poured in about the officers, how they're compassionate, they have integrity, they care about people. So that's nice when you're getting a lot of compliments, and that's a good thing. You know, I can't brag on enough. Sergeant Michael Bergen, he was that first responder of the week, you know, and I praised him. That was a big deal for me. You know, I was like, that's great. Sergeant Hicks got a DUI award. He's got the seatbelt award for this area. I don't know if any of you all caught it. Officer Britt, of course, she's a school resource officer. While in uniform, there was a man out mowing the yard, and she took over and started mowing for him and finished it. You know, that's the part that a lot of people don't see that we do. And I got to give kudos to all the officers. They go above and beyond. They work all these events because they love this community. They love what they do. So they work the extra overtime. They go out and work when it's their off days. So they may have had to work an event on an off day and go to court on an off day, and that's okay. You know, sure, none of us get paid enough, but they still love what they do. Well, guess what? Today's society, everything's going up. It is what it is. Some of the goals that we had was to get the maintenance garage. We met that goal, and that is, I talked to them today, they're working on it. Do you think South Green School's got trouble? You know, it's everywhere. But I did talk to them, it's fixing to get the ground going. We did have the ground breaking. But that was on our goal list. We're working on that succession plan with the supervisors. Because I have no intentions of going anywhere. I plan on being here. I'm like Rock. I plan on being here another 5, 7, 10 years, long good Lord willing allows me. I want to be here. But I want to make sure that when we do leave, we have people in place that will move right up. As like Chief Rock says, you know, this one to go take my spot, and this one to take my, and everybody just moves up. And then we bring some more into our big family. Been working on the firing range, and I cannot thank the landfill and Roger enough for the hard work that they went above and beyond to help us get that up. We was trying to get it up with KLC standards. We got the barn built up, so now it's a complete U for safety reasons. We got our building down on the ground so that we can have the classroom. We can do our cleaning out there again. So that was a big goal to get done. So there's very little left to do out there, which was on our goal list. I would like to see all the fleet be transformed into the SUVs, the one style SUV of the Ford Explorer, so you're all united the same. Save money. One type of oil filter, one type of oil. See, that's what I'm getting at. So we're not having 3 and 4 different kinds of things. It makes it simple to save money. I would like to see, it is on the goal, I would like to see, like I said, the officers grow from 37 to 40, so we have a total officers of 40. I would like to see, you know, continue on our goal. We have the health and wellness program. We would like to see about, you know, maybe a weight room or something, but continuing with that health and wellness to keep us healthy. And I would like to see the K-9 replacement growth and in the patrol. So, like I said, them are just goals that we have set for our department, and that we look at every year. As of right now, on paper, we're full staffed. We look good on paper. Am I full staffed on the road? No. But that's okay. We are full staffed, and that's the first time we can say that in a while. So I'm happy about that. Of course, it's Kentucky. Give it a few minutes, it might change. But I do have one in the academy, 3 fixing to go. One is on PTO. I do know upcoming, because I know you're going to ask me about what's my future, what do I see. I'll go ahead and get to it. I know I've got some officers leaving for retirement. I know that's coming, probably September. I know I have one for sure. So I have one that is currently has a lot of years in. He will probably fill that person's spot, and then I'll bring in a new one for the road. So I have 1 or 2 leaving, probably in retirement. Within the next 5 years, I'll probably have 3 to 4 that will be able to retire, and that may. And that's okay. We are young, but we keep on trucking. Our sergeants are young. I mean, I'm sitting in the same situation as Chief Rock. We're young, but that's okay. We still get the same training, we still do. So we do try to hold on to the ones that have more years' experience so they can teach the others. But we have 3 accident recons now at our department, accident recon construction. So if there is a fatality in our city or county, we can work them. We can work them. And so we don't have to rely on the state. And Sergeant Hicks just finished that class. He just graduated from that. And boy, I don't know what COVID did, but yep, we had a lot of babies. I think we got 3, 4. We're right there with you. I think 1 you got to meet. We have 2 more fixing to go out with their wives fixing to deliver. So that's it. Like I said, short, sweet, to the point. I know you got better things to do tonight. Is there any questions you'd like to ask me, anything you'd like to know? And always, please know, thank you for even having me up here, but please know that you are always welcome at the department to ride anytime, to come by and talk to anybody you want to talk to me, any of the staff. Please, and I ask you, come by, ride with us. We're still handling about 18 to 2,000 calls a month. Domestics have gone up. And, we're still having a lot of overdoses. Drugs are there. But we've got things in play to work with that. Officers are getting more training, so we'll get through it. Anybody have any questions?
Chief, I'd ask one question about the relationship with our school systems that are in the city limits. I mean, with the resource officers, and of course, in light of the incident we all are very much aware of, but how's that working?
Great.
Good.
We have a really outstanding relationship with the school system. The independent schools are excellent to work with. We have a school resource officer in every school. Matter of fact,
Chief Barbara, yes?
yes, ma'am.
Hey, if I could speak to that, I guess I have the inside track on
She does.
The school resource officer for Glasgow Middle School. I cannot speak highly enough of Officer Cromwell and the relationship he has with our students and how safe he makes them feel. We are extremely blessed to have him there with us. And he's just an asset. He jumps in and does anything he needs to do. So we're really blessed in the city schools to have that support from the Glasgow Police Department.
Thank you.
I know that Highland Officer Britt is very well liked, and there's not a day, which I'm there every day, there's not a day that goes by that she's not out, sorry Cody, out with those kids and smiling and entertaining. They
Yes.
love her. They love her.
South Green is Officer Pickett. The kids love him. He reads with them. They love him. Officer Garrison, and if these school resource officers are not there for a day or something, these kids want to know where they're at. Why? Where are they at? What, is something wrong? So, but not just that. They go through the safety plan. I mean, these officers walk around. They check the doors. They check the windows. We do, training to go through the schools, so that we're familiar and know what door's what door's labeled what, and what we can do to improve, and the school wants to know what can they do to improve. So I can tell you that we are in compliance, and things are going great with the schools, and love working with them. And we help out in the county too when you need something, because if they need something, we'll be there for them. They have four schools within the city limits, 3, something like that, 4. So depending on how you count Barron County. And
I have a question, Chief. You made the statement, you're fully staffed on paper but not on the road. Can you explain that? And the reason that I'm asking is because Is it related to transports?
Okay. That helped, yeah, that's an issue, but no, a lot of that means that the city allots me 37 sworn law enforcement officers for the road.
Is that
Okay.
because of the population, is that how that's determined?
Yeah, it's been that for a long time. So,
Sorry?
yes, and it's been that for a long time. Does it need to change? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where I said my goal was at least let's go to 40. Let's give that extra. So, with that being said, I am fully staffed on paper, but until, it takes a year to a year and a half to get them, actually a year and a half, to be honest with you, to get them through the hiring process, through the academy, through the PTO program. So you're looking at a year and a half, and that's if and the three I have one in the academy right now. The three I have to go will not even start the academy until August. Okay, so starting in August, 20 weeks after that, 13-week PTO program, and that's that they pass everything and get through everything before they even become a solo unit to be safe enough to be out there by themselves.
So you're basically 5 officers short, is what you're saying?
Yes, and then when we have transport, the other night, for instance, Sunday night, I was at the plaza and got a phone call. We had a transport. Within an hour of that transport, we're into that transport, we have another transport. Okay, that just ties up 2 officers. If I've only got 3 or 4 on the street, you just took 2 of them out, and you do the math. And these officers are tied up forward. This isn't something that goes away in 45 minutes. It takes a while to do it. You're looking, they could tie that officer up 3-4 hours. And if we got to go to Western State, well, that's a little even longer. So, and 72 hours have increased. And I feel like they're going to continue to increase because that's just the society we're in right now. So, that's just something that I'm going to have to plan for and look for in the future. So.
Chief, thank you very much, and I like to implicate what I said about Chief Rock. Chief Arbogast and I either talk or see each other several times a week, and she keeps me abreast of what's going on, and the main thing that we've talked about is getting the money up. We have made it to the point to where, with grants and so forth, we're trying to give them everything they need to operate in a safe and efficient way, but she's done the same thing as Chief Rock. She has made a commitment to everybody out there, and everybody out there has a commitment made to her. So the police, I like to brag on them too, because they're doing a great job. We're starting to get a lot of compliments. Just after she talked about Sergeant Britt, is it Sergeant?
Sergeant Hicks, and then Officer Britt, which is a school resource officer.
Oh, the one that would help him finish mowing his yard.
That was Officer Britt. She's a school resource officer.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, they're all going on and beyond, because we have a lot of Entertain Glasgow events, and the chief is usually at every one of the meetings that we have, and her and 2 or 3 of her officers and Major Flat will be here on the scene during all that, and they just make it work, and every department working together is making the city so much stronger and so much better. I appreciate you all, and I think the majority of the body here understands what hard work y'all are all doing, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. We do we go up there with Eddie for the summer camp. He calls and we do like 30-minute presentation with all the kids, so we try to stay very involved with our community. We want them to know we love them as much as, we love doing what we do. We love our community, so.
I would just echo what everybody said. I know 3 instances in the last couple months where your officers have gone over and above for a disadvantaged family or kids, or they've really helped me out in the bind, so kudos to you and your people.
Thank you.
thank y'all again, and Roger, you're sort of in on this because you have backed up a lot of what they're saying, even though you've already given your presentation. I'd like to say, I think that this ends the last, is that the last of the presentations? No?
We have Plaza, and there's two more. I can't remember.
Well, we've still got some other people to brag on because y'all are doing a good job, and we appreciate all the work you're doing. So, that being said, the next item of business is some unfinished business. Second reading of ordinance 2022, an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance, rezoning property.
City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022-blank, an ordinance amending Glasgow zoning ordinance, rezoning property located at 582 Reynolds Road containing 0.46 acres more or less from I-1 Light Industrial District to B2 General Business District. It appearing that, number one, Christy Castillo, owner applicant, has requested a zoning change for the property located at 582 Reynolds Road containing 0.46 acres more or less. A schematic drawing of said property subject to rezoning is attached here to as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference. Number two, a trial-type due process hearing concerning said proposed zoning change was held on April 18, 2022 at 7 p.m. by the Joint City County Planning and Zoning Commission, resulting in the recommendation by the Commission that the property hereinafter described be rezoned from I-1 Light Industrial District to B2 General Business District classification. Number three, copies of the findings and recommendations of the Joint City County Planning and Zoning Commission have been forwarded to the Glasgow City Council, which are hereby adopted by the Glasgow City Council and are attached to this ordinance as Exhibit B and incorporated herein by reference. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky as follows. Section 1. The findings and recommendations of the Joint City County Planning and Zoning Commission, copies of which are attached hereto as Exhibit B, are hereby approved in all respects. Section 2. The property located at 582 Reynolds Road containing 0.46 acres more or less be rezoned from I-1 Light Industrial District to B2 General Business District classification. The real property covered by this ordinance having been more particularly described as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference. Section 3. All future development of this property shall comply with the requirements of the Development Plan Ordinance adopted by the Glasgow City Council on December 30, 1991. Section 4. The Mayor of Glasgow is empowered and directed to complete any documents on behalf of the City of Glasgow, Kentucky necessary to implement this action. Section 5. This ordinance takes effect upon its passage and publication according to law. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk. First reading May 23, 2022. Second reading June 13, 2022.
Having heard the reading of this ordinance, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion, Norris.
Motion by Councilmember Norris.
Second by Wicker.
Second by Councilmember Witcher. Being the second reading of this ordinance, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Neal,
Yes.
Lowry,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick,
Yes, ma'am.
Honeycutt,
Yes.
Gauntz,
Yes, ma'am.
Benel,
Yes.
Witcher,
Yes.
Trigg,
It's absent.
Norris,
Yes.
Second reading passes. Next item of business, first read ordinance number 2022 an ordinance amending ordinance number 2021-2989, the City of Glasgow's annual budget for fiscal year 7/1/2021 through 6/30/2022.
City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022-blank, and ordinance amending ordinance number 2021-2989, the City of Glasgow annual budget for the fiscal year 7/1/2021 through June 30th, 2022, by transferring $221,205 from the unappropriated general fund for a fuel price increase, air conditioner unit, and miscellaneous repairs and supplies, also receiving into the unappropriated general fund $80,345 from grants and donations, and by transferring from the unappropriated plaza fund $38,125 for events, and by transferring from the unappropriated cemetery fund $7,250 for fuel increase and personnel, and by transferring from the unappropriated sanitation landfill fund $310,700 for price increases, repairs, and equipment, also receiving into the unappropriated sanitation landfill fund $136,500 from sale of equipment. Be it hereby ordained by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, that the City of Glasgow annual budget for fiscal year July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022 is hereby amended as follows. Section 1. It is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $4,815 to the administrative account 010-1110-8220 maintenance and repairs for sprinkler systems and air conditioner unit repairs, and $27,000 to professional and technical for extra attorney fees. Section 2, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $11,875 to the police department account 01-2210-8305 technical supplies for replacement on some body cameras, $33,475 to the police department account number 01-2210-8340 motor fuel for increased price in fuel, $10,850 to the police department account 010-2210-8211 work comp for work comp expenses, and $5,150 to the police department account 010-2210-8505 technical equipment for an air conditioner unit. Section 3, there is hereby received into the unappropriated general fund $49,345 into the general fund police department account 010-2210-6690 other revenue for donations and reimbursement for mutual aid from Graves County. Section 4, there is hereby received into the unappropriated general fund $31,000 into the general fund fire department account 010-2250-6690 from a fire KCTCS grant for equipment and gear. Section 5, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $10,000 to the fire department account 010-2250-8305 technical supplies for fire gear, $21,000 to the fire department account 010-2250-8530 buildings for burn panels on the training, building, and maintenance, and $10,800 to the fire department account 010-2250-8340 fuel and lube for increased price of fuel, $12,650 into the fire department account 010-2250-8119 sick, sold, accrued vacation, or paid vacation for retired employees, and $4,000 to the fire department account 010-2270-8220 maintenance and repairs for repairs to engine number 3. Section 6. There is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $1,450 to the animal control account 010-2240-A340 fuel for increased fuel prices. Section 7, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $20,200 to the street department account 010-3310-A340 fuel for the increased price of fuel, $10,000 to the street department account number 010-3310-8305 technical supplies for additional mosquito spray, and $10,400 to the street department account 010-3310-8320 construction materials for bridge repair. Section 8, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $2,740 to the recreation account 010-6610-8220 maintenance and repairs for fence and door repairs, $4,800 to the recreation account 010-6610-8320 construction materials for vandalism at Beaver Trail Park, and $3,500 to the recreation account 010-6610-A340 fuel and lube for increased fuel prices. Section 9, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated general fund $12,500 to the city pool account 010-6630-8220 maintenance and repairs for pump and parts, $4,000 to the city pool account 010-6630-8305 technical supplies for price increase on concession supplies, filters, and chemicals. Section 10, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated plaza fund $28,625 to the plaza account 014-6670-8210, professional and technical for artist expenses, and $9,500 to the Plaza account 014-6670-8399, materials and supplies for concession supplies. Section 11, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated cemetery fund $6,300 to the cemetery account 027-1300-8119, 6 sold accrued vacation for paid vacation to retired employees, and $950 to the cemetery account number 027-1300-8340 for increased price of fuel. Section 12, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated sanitation landfill fund $5,400 to the sanitation department account 085-4410-8220, maintenance and repairs for pressure pump and parts, and $10,500 to the sanitation department account 085-4410-8340, fuel and lube for increased price of fuel. Section 13, there is hereby transferred from the unappropriated sanitation landfill fund $59,500 to the landfill department account 085-4430-8220, maintenance and repairs for the repairs of a dozer and compactor, $74,800 to the landfill department account number 085-4430-8340, fuel and lube for the increased price of fuel and oil, $160,500 to the landfill department account 085-4430-8515, construction and maintenance equipment for the price increase in garbage carts and a used dozer. Section 14, there is hereby received into the unappropriated sanitation landfill fund $136,500 to the landfill account 085-4430-6630, sale of property for the sale of a compactor. Section 15, that this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its date of passage, approval, and publication as required by law. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attests Mona Simmons, City Clerk, first reading June 13th, 2022.
Having heard this lengthy first reading of an ordinance amending the Glasgow budget, do I have a motion to accept? Have a motion by Councilmember Kirkpatrick and a second. Second by Councilmember Honeycutt. All those approved signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. First reading passes. Next item is first reading ordinance 2022, an ordinance adopting the City of Glasgow annual budget for fiscal year 7/1/22 through 6/30/23, establishing revenues, resources, and appropriating funds for the operation of the city government.
I'm going to intentionally go a little bit slower on this because of these figures. I don't want to get too tongue-tied and say the wrong thing. City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022-blank, an ordinance adopting the City of Glasgow annual budget for fiscal year July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, establishing revenues and sources and appropriating funds for the operation of city government. Whereas an annual budget proposal and message has been prepared and delivered to the City Council, and whereas the City Council has reviewed said budget proposal and made necessary modifications, now therefore be it hereby ordained by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, Section 1, the annual budget for the fiscal year July 1st, 2022, and ending June 30th, 2023, is hereby adopted as follows. And then I'll read each line and the carryovers and so forth. Administrative, June 2022, estimated carryover, 0. Estimated revenue for 2022 to 2023, $19,739,510. 2022-23 estimated expenses, $3,888,975. Estimated fund balance at the end of the year is 0. Then I'll just go legislative, carryover, estimated revenue, carryover 0, estimated revenue 0, estimated expenses $94,551, estimated balance at year end 0. Police Department, estimated carryover at the beginning of the year 0, estimated revenue $179,700, estimated expenses $4,870,780, estimated fund balance at year end 0. Animal Control, estimated carryover at the beginning, 0, estimated revenue, $134,950, estimated expenses, $286,045, estimated fund balance at end year, 0. Fire Department, estimated carryover at the beginning, 0, estimated revenue, $31,300, estimated expenses for the year, $4,305,181, estimated fund balance at year end, 0. Fire Substation, estimated carryover, 0, estimated revenue, 0, estimated expenses during the year, $62,350, estimated balance at year end, 0. Communications, 0, carryover, estimated revenue, $280,000, estimated expenses, $1,274,118, estimated balance at year end, 0. Street Department, at the beginning of the year, 0, estimated revenue, $1,281,495, estimated expenses, $3,704,348, estimated balance at year end, 0. Building Inspector, estimated carryover, 0. Estimated revenue, $162,200, estimated expenses, $294,361, balance at year end, 0. Transit, 0, carryover, estimated revenue, $109,441, estimated expenses, $203,283, balance at year end, 0. Recreation, carry forward, 0, estimated revenue, $90,863, estimated expenses, $1,850,288, balance at year end, 0. Swimming pool, estimated carry forward, 0, estimated revenue, $33,250, estimated expenses, $4,565,500, estimated balance at year end, 0. SCKCC, carry forward, 0, estimated revenue, 0, estimated expenses, $51,700, balance at year end, 0. Stormwater, carry forward, 0, revenue, 0, estimated expenses, $587,451, balance at year end, 0. General fund, estimated carry forward, $8,609,363, estimated revenue, $22,042,709, estimated expenses, $26,038,931, estimated fund balance at year end, $4,613,141. Plaza Theater, carry forward, $69,417, estimated revenue, $301,950, estimated expenses, $330,161, estimated fund balance at year end, $41,206. Municipal road aid, carry forward, $202,082, estimated revenue, $250,000, estimated expenses, $250,000, estimated balance fund at year end, $202,082. KLEF PF Fund Police Fire, carry forward, $27,130, estimated revenue, $497,265, estimated expenses, $507,873, estimated balance at year end, $16,522. GEDL Fund, carry forward, $791,515, estimated revenue, $109,500, estimated expenses, $100,000, estimated fund balance at year end, $801,015. Municipal Cemetery, $151,256 carry over, estimated revenue, $285,000, estimated expenses, $381,869, estimated balance at year end, $54,387. Perpetual upkeep, carry forward, $583,749, estimated revenue, $18,000, estimated expenses, $5,500, estimated fund balance at year end, $596,249. Sanitation landfill, carry forward, $8,902,102, estimated revenue, $4,686,000, estimated expenses, $4,565,060. Estimated fund balance at year end, $9,023,042. Closure, post-closure fund, $5,280,665. Carry forward, $12 million estimated revenue, zero estimated expenses. Fund balance at year end, $5,292,665. Estimated year-end balances. Carry forward, $24,617,279. Estimated revenue, $28,202,424. Estimated expenses, $32,179,394. Estimated fund balance at year end, $20,640,309. Section 2. This ordinance shall take effect as of July 1st, 2022, according to passage and publication as required by law. A copy of this information, the entire fiscal year 2022-2023 proposed budget and additional background materials are available for public inspection during normal business hours, 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. local time at Glasgow City Hall, Office of the Mayor, 126 East Public Square, Glasgow, Kentucky, 42141. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk. First reading, July 13th, 2022.
I don't know what the correct procedure is here, if I need to call on the Finance Committee to make their judgment, or do I need to get a first and a second motion and then call on them?
Get your motion.
Can I ask a question at this point? Once we got a first and a second, who will, can I get a motion to accept this? Have a first and by Honeycutt, a second by Manel. Now you can.
Okay, the Finance Committee has met and gone through the budget, and due to the uncertainty of the present economy, plus the uncertainty of the landfill revenue stream, by that I mean we've raised the price. Now we may lose a few customers, but the remaining customers will be paying more. We're not sure what that revenue stream is going to look like in the future. So because of those two items, the Finance Committee recommends that we remove the $4,500,000 for the new city pool from this budget and hold that until the council considers the economy stable and the revenue stream stable to where we know we can pay for it for sure. What that would do was, instead of the general fund decreasing by $4 million and the year-end balance of all funds decreasing by $4 million, now you would have a $500,000 roughly increase in the general fund and in total funds. So in other words, instead of spending $4 million more than we're taking in, we're going to spend $500,000 less than we're taking in. So we'll be accumulating some fund balance for the year. So I would make a motion that we amend the budget to remove $4.5 million for the construction of the new pool.
I'll second that motion.
First, second on the amendment. We vote on the amendment first.
You get to the discussion first, and then you vote on the amendment. The discussion will just be on the amendment. Then if it fails,
It's just a figure that you read. I wanted to make sure I was following you down on closure and post-closure. Well, it's got $12,000, but you read $12 million.
That's $12,000.
Okay.
I got a question.
If that's the only thing I missed, that's all.
So where are we at on the money, like maybe for the farmer's market, the finance? Are we made it determined or on that?
We're waiting. We have not decided on that at the Finance Committee.
So, okay. So do we have a deadline or we just not sure yet?
We're waiting for more information to be public knowledge. So we're waiting for Wes to say when he can meet with the Finance Committee to go through some of the construction details. But we've not, as a Finance Committee, met and said, yes, we recommend it, or no, we don't recommend it.
Okay.
I got few questions, if y'all would humor me. The ARPA money that we're giving away as for donations and small business, was that like lost revenue funds, Stephanie or the mayor? Lost revenue funds? The ARPA, was it designated as lost revenue fund? I know, but I'm saying is, and I maybe ask y'all, is it lost revenue funds or yes or no?
It's not lost revenue, it's revenue coming to you from the American Relief Fund.
Right, I understand.
And you're gonna turn around and spend it. That's how you designated to spend it, so it's revenue expense.
I get it. Well, and I guess maybe in a simpler term, is it replacing money that we already spent? Because it's not. So it's not restricted money, it can be used for,
Yeah, it has stipulations on it for the government, for the federal,
okay.
but you have to follow
Spend
those
it more we can.
guidelines.
We've already started allocating it from the people who asked
Yeah, I'm,
money last year and
Yeah.
didn't get it. We've allocated it for this
Right.
one.
I get it. And I'm not complaining, I just wanted to clear it up. And then I got the email from Wendell about the interest that we'd made, like $160,000 maybe this last year on I used a $14 million average run rate. So there was $3.5 million put into an investment, I assume KLC or somebody. Do you foresee continuing to layer that? Because I didn't really get it out of the finance committee. Will we put another $3.5 million to make another $160,000 or?
That will depend on the economy and the mayors.
Okay, all right. So as of right now, there's no plan for that, right?
Not today.
Okay. And then Wendell, this may go to you. Metcalf County. I know we were a couple $100,000 in arrears. The last time we talked about it here, I think we were trying to figure out a plan out of it. Have we got a plan?
You're talking about the 911
Yeah,
committee?
911 center, right.
Okay, the 911 center is currently looking at an alternative funding method
Okay.
to help pay for the 911 center, which would relieve the city of some of the city's expenses and allow the county to pay more than what the county's
Right.
paying now, which they're not paying anything direct, but they are indirectly paying for part
Got it.
of the 911 center. The expenses that looks like we've expended for Metcalf County, we have not decided any type of recovery plan
Okay.
at all. We have decided that starting July 1st, until something is decided, that we will ensure that Metcalf County pays what is Metcalf County's expenses, and we're going to allocate them in the percentage that we did a 5-year study of cost.
Okay.
We're going to use that unless Metcalf County comes back and says, this is a mistake in that allocation,
Yeah.
and this is why, and then we would decide as a group, is that a mistake or not?
But the 200,000 is probably not going to be.
It was higher
You
than
gotta
that.
understand, that's the 911 board. That's
Yeah,
not the
that's-
city of Glasgow or the county of Marion.
So we're not paying, we haven't overpaid our part, is what you're saying. I understood that Glasgow was paying 32%, but only 18% of the, and I may have it all wrong.
It's
It's a different percentage, but yes, we have been paying a little bit more
Okay,
than what we should have paid, and Metcalf is paying less.
got it.
And that's because of the audit that we asked to be done.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to figure out where the money is.
The 911 board receives monies from federal taxes on cell
Right.
phones and landlines and other things, and then each county is paying some too. Metcalf County has a taxing district, I believe, for
Right.
theirs. So they're putting in money, we're putting in money, and the board buys capital items and
Got it.
pays a couple of salaries and some reimbursements. So that's the board spending for capital items and
But that should
salaries
start to
has
clean
split.
itself up after July, not the backlog, but the front.
Right.
Okay. And then, this is just a personal thing for me. I don't know if it's a lot of money, but we seem to be spending a lot of money. I'd like to see us get new microphones and more sound stuff up here, because I get a lot of complaints from maybe it's because we don't turn our mics on, Cody, but I get a lot of complaints from the people listening that they can't hear us, and I don't know how old these are, but, you know, I can't imagine it's paying $5,000-$10,000 worth of equipment. Two other things that I'm not on the finance committee, and I probably will vote against the budget for no reason other than what I'm getting ready to tell you. I think that as we were allocating money, there's things that are important to me, and that's mental health. And I think that it behooves us in the city and the county to find a way to put money back for mental health. If you're out on the street much, it's a lot more rampant than people thinks it is, and somebody's going to happen. So I get that all the other stuff that we need to pay. The other thing, I just didn't see a lot of money for the plaza, and I know that they seem to have a lot of problems down there as far as it just being old. Like I said, the downtown park, that's important to me. It may not be important to anybody else, but as we're handing out money, that would be something that I think would be important. And as I was going through it, the building inspector, the price went up like, hang on a second, went from like 162 to 294. Does the county pay part of that? Do we split that with the county?
The county pays all of the building inspector. The city furnishes a place, and we get a percentage of what he does in the city back.
Got it. So just, Wendell, you're pretty up on this. What would be the $130,000 increase in the building inspector? What would that just stuck out at me.
Let me see.
And then, that might be all my questions.
If we can finish on the amendment, and then we can come back to Patrick's, let me look and see.
Sure.
I might have to call on Stephanie and Joe.
We have the first and second on the amendment. Now we need to call for a vote on the amendment to delete the pool. Is that correct? All those approve of the deletion of the pool or the amendment as stated, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The amendment is passed with the deletion of the pool, correct? Now, I'd like to have a motion. If y'all want to discuss that, we can discuss it. If not, we'll go on to the budget with the deletion of the pool.
Give us, we don't have every line memorized, you've had it for 2 weeks, it'd be easier to call us.
Yeah. I thought he had here, I was just looking to see.
And we don't know off the top of our head.
I thought this was time for questions, but maybe it's
It'd
not.
be easier if you call us, maybe,
I'll try to get them in, but I thought he asked for questions, but if we're not supposed to ask.
No, I didn't say that, Patrick.
Okay.
I'm saying.
You said, beforehand.
Let me speak, please.
That's enough. We're voting on the amendment. The budget as amended. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, like sign. Have a roll call. Those in favor of the budget with the amendment, she's going to ask you yes or no.
Lowry,
Yes.
Kirkpatrick, Honeycutt,
Yes.
Gauntz,
No, ma'am.
Benel,
Yes.
Witcher, Trigg is absent, Norris,
Yes.
Neal.
No.
So you have 6 yes and 2 no.
6, yes, correct.
Budget passes with the taken out. Next item.
Can I say something more?
Yeah.
The animal control is a timing issue between what's hit so far this year and what will come in.
Animal control. I thought he was asking about the building inspector.
Was that,
Yeah, building.
was it building? Well, I'm
I
sorry.
thought you were looking at
That was the same amount.
I'll get it.
Wrong person.
I'll get it this week.
What line item are you even on the building inspectors?
I was just wondering why I'm just curious.
What line?
What line are you looking at to get that?
Hang on just a second. It is under building inspection. From, the expenses went up to $294,000. I just want to, that just seemed like a lot for a building inspector.
They went up 294
Now, the line item is $294,000 on this sheet.
on the total.
Yeah,
For
it just seemed
expenses.
like a lot if
It-
we're,
It went up from 252 to 294.
right. I was just,
There was,
Patrick, the paper you're looking at, it went up from 160 to 2, right?
No.
162 is the revenue.
what
294 is
you're
the,
doing is you're in the wrong column. If you look up above, it says 22-23 budget, and you come down to your total, 294,361. Then you go over to the next column, it says 2022 actual. You're looking at actual there, you're not looking
I don't
at
have mine.
budget.
I'm just looking on this sheet.
Okay.
This is revenue.
Yes, right, so, right, that's not.
And so then.
No. I just wanted to know, that seemed to be higher than the number.
But here's 2022's budget, it's 293, and 2023's budget is 294.
Perfect, that's all I need now, thank you.
Less than $1,000.
Thank you.
Okay, next item. If I can get my wits, I don't have much. With the first reading of the adoption of the Code of Ordinance. Okay. First reading of the ordinance number 2022, an ordinance amending Glasgow Code of Ordinance 164B to change the regular schedule meetings.
City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022-blank, an ordinance amending Glasgow Code of Ordinances section 36.164B to change regular scheduled meetings from once every 2 months to once every month for the Code Enforcement Board. That whereas citizens may want or need to appeal a citation or order issued by the Glasgow Code Enforcement Officer, and regular meetings only occur every 2 months, but aggrieved citizens should not have to wait that long to be heard and should not have to wait that long to commence compliance with enforcement requested. Now therefore be it resolved, be ordained by the City of Glasgow as follows. Section 1. The presently existing Section 36.164B of the Glasgow Code of Ordinance is deleted and replaced with the following new section. Regular meetings of the Code Enforcement Board shall be held on the second Thursday of every month at 9 a.m. local time. Meetings other than those regularly scheduled shall be special meetings or emergency meetings held in accordance with the requirements of the Kentucky Open Meetings Act. Section 2, that this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after its date of passage, approval, and publication as required by law. Any provisions of the Glasgow Code of Ordinances not specifically altered herein remain as they appear presently. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk, first reading June 13th, 2022.
I have a motion to accept this ordinance.
Motion by Benel.
Councilmember Benel makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Witcher. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. That order, first reading passes. Next item is resolution number 2022.
I've got another ordinance on 151-107.
Oh, that's right. Demolition, that's part of the codes, right?
Right.
First reading, sorry, I was jumping over. First reading of the ordinance number 2022, an ordinance amending the Glasgow Code of Ordinance, adding a new section establishing a variable demolition fee.
City of Glasgow ordinance number 2022-blank, an ordinance amending Glasgow Code of Ordinances, section number 151.107, adding a new section being section 151.107D, establishing a variable demolition fee based on the size of the structure being demolished. Whereas the code enforcement officer must take and approve applications to demolish buildings, ensure that contractors are licensed, get numerous verifications including asbestos, electric, water, and gas, inspect for safety during demolition, and follow up final inspections to make sure the site is flat, strawed, and seeded. The traditional fee of $25 is inadequate and inconsistent with modern practices. Any proposed demolition fee should take into account the size of the structure being demolished. Now therefore be it ordained by the City of Glasgow as follows. Section 1. There is hereby adopted a new section of the Glasgow Code of Ordinances as follows. New Code, Section 151.107D. The demolition fee for a permit to demolish a structure shall be based on the size of the structure as follows. We have a column here with demolition area of the building, and this number is multiplied by 1,000 square feet. So if it says 1, that's a 1,000-foot structure. If it says 2, that's a 2,000-foot structure, or anything between 1 and 2, and so forth. Area being demoed, 1,000 feet, $81, 2,000 feet, $124, 3,000 feet, $167, 4,000 feet, $210, 5,000 feet, $253, 6,000 feet, $296, 7,000 feet, $339, 8,000 feet, $382, 9,425, 10,000, $468, $11,511, $12,554, $13,597, $14,640, $15,683, $16,726, $17,769, $18,812, $19,855, $20,898, $21,941, $22,984, $23,000, $1,027, $24,000, $1,070, $25,000, $1,113, $26,000, $1,156, $27,000, $1,199, $28,000, $1,242, $29,000, $1,285, $30,000, $1,328, $31,000, $1,371, $32,000, $1,414, $33,000, $1,457, $34,000, $1,500, $35,000, $1,543, $36,000, $1,586, $37,000, $1,629, $38,000, $1,672, $39,000, $1,715, $40,000, $1,758, $41,000, $1,801, $42,000, $1,844, $43,000, $1,887, $44,000, $1,930, $45,000, $1,973, $46,000, $2,016, $47,000, $2,059, $48,000, $2,102, $49,000, $2,145, and 50,000 square feet, $2,188. For all structures larger than 50,000 square feet, the fee shall be $21,088 plus $43 for each 1,000 square feet of space above 50,000 square feet. That this ordinance take effect and be enforced from and after its date of passage, approval, and publication is required by law. Any provision of the Glasgow Code of Ordinances not specifically altered herein remain as they presently appear. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk. First reading, June 13th, 2022.
In the section that
Yes.
says $2,188, you read it 21,000.
21,000. That size building's a lot harder.
Is that what you were going to say?
No, I was just gonna tell him, he cut out about 2,000 feet. Could you read all those numbers again?
Yes, absolutely. Hang on.
One verification or one clarification. When this says demolition fee, it means the fee that we charge, so they, like a permit to tear it down. It's not the demolition for that structure, so don't be confused. A 2,000 square foot structure, that's just the fee to have it torn down. You're probably looking at 8,000 or 10,000.
How do we come up with this fee schedule?
From the time it takes, she elevated it, instead of $25, she took how much time it takes, and the bigger the property, the more time it takes to do it. What is actually regulates this? Is that if we have to condemn a lot, does that just go to the landowner, just pay as a permit? No, you don't have, this fee's not charged if we condemn a lot. It's for a building. Okay, I just took demolition as any demolition. I thought if we tear a structure to put a safe down, would this pass on get it demolition.
Okay, if you want to tear a building down, you'll see how big the building was, and you can tell, and that's what you.
But if I did it, you wouldn't charge down the processing fee to just tear it down.
Yes, it has to be an oversight. When you want to tear your building down, it's got 20,000 square feet, you're gonna have to pay this permit to get it from us, you know, to go for it. Yes, it's a permit. Well, to $81 for 1,000 square foot house, and $124 for a 2,000 square foot house. I don't think we've ever had anything torn down over 4,000 square feet in the city of Glasgow. Ever?
SKF.
SKF, that's
tore
all we
down for $25 permit fee.
The old Tyson Bearing building, that was what, 14,000 something?
It is up there.
So
So they only paid the
you have to
$25
make sure that everything, that the gas company is released, you know, there's a lot goes into it.
I'll make a motion.
Have a first, have a second. Have a first and a second, all those approved, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Next item is, resolution 2022, resolution of the city of Glasgow authorizing the mayor to make application for, Homeland Security for a grant.
The City of Glasgow Resolution 2022-blank, a resolution of the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, authorizing the mayor to make application for and upon arrival to enter into an agreement with the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, KOHS, for a grant in the amount of $63,000 for the Glasgow Police Department for a repeater and to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by KOHS to facilitate and administer the project. This resolution also established procurement policy for any KOHS-approved project for fiscal year 2022 application cycle. Whereas the City of Glasgow, Barron County, Kentucky, desires to make an application for United States Department of Homeland Security and/or Commonwealth of Kentucky funds for a project to be administered by the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, and whereas it is recognized that an application for and approval of Kentucky Office of Homeland Security funds impose certain obligations and responsibilities upon the City of Glasgow. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized to execute and furnish all required documentation, including a memorandum of agreement as may be required by KOHS for the furtherance of the above referenced project and to act as the authorized correspondent for said project. For the purpose of any KOH-funded project using fiscal year 2022 funds, the city will use the provisions of KRS 45A for the purchase of a repeater for the Glasgow Police Department. For any equipment and/or services under $30,000, 3 quotes will be obtained. For any equipment or services that exceeds $30,000, the provisions of KRS 45A will apply. Adopted this the 13th day of June 2022. Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest on the Simmons City Clerk.
Having heard this resolution, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion for Patrick.
Have a motion from Councilmember Patrick and a second. Councilmember Neal. All those approved signify by saying aye. Those opposed, like sign. Resolution passes. The next item is Resolution 2022 a resolution of the City of Glasgow authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Homeland Security for a grant in the amount of a little less than $12,000.
City of Glasgow Resolution Number 2022, a resolution of the City of Glasgow, Kentucky, authorizing the mayor to make application for and upon arrival to enter into an agreement with the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, KOHS, for a grant in the amount of $11,934 for Glasgow Fire Department for fire boots and to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by KOHS to facilitate and administer the project. This resolution also established the procurement policy for any KOHS-approved project for the fiscal year 2022 application cycle. Whereas the City of Glasgow, Barron County, Kentucky desires to make an application for United States Department of Homeland Security and/or Commonwealth of Kentucky funds for a project to be administered by the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, and whereas it is recognized that an application for and approval of Kentucky Office of Homeland Security funds impose certain obligations and responsibilities upon the City of Glasgow. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Glasgow, Barron County, Kentucky, Kentucky, that the mayor is hereby authorized to execute and furnish all required documentation, including a memorandum of agreement as may be required by KOHS for the furtherance of the above referenced project, and to act as the authorized correspondent for said project. For the purpose of any KOHS-funded projects using fiscal year 2022 funds, the city will use the provisions of KRS 45A for the purchase of fire boots for the Glasgow Fire Department and any equipment or services under $30,000. 3 quotes will be obtained. For any equipment and services that exceeds $30,000, the provisions of KRS 45A will apply. Adopted this 13th day of June 2022, Harold Armstrong, Mayor, attest Mona Simmons, City Clerk.
Emergency resolution, do I have a motion to accept?
Motion Norris.
Have a motion by Norris and a second by Neal. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. You have in front of you a pending, the notification for some pending board members that will be voted on the next meeting. And I've got some announcements to make, and then we'll have another discussion here at the bottom of the announcement.
Hey, MD, if I could take the liberty, Jonathan Belcher, he's struggling right now. He's in the hospital. Y'all just keep him in your prayers, so.
Okay. I haven't heard back from him. We may have to insert something. Okay, thank you.
This will need to replace that first announcement.
Oh, yeah. There'll be a special call city council meeting for the purpose of a town hall meeting for residents to voice their opinion on Thursday. Instead of, you've got the different one here, it's been changed. Instead of Thursday, the 23rd, it's Thursday, the 16th, 2022, beginning at 6 p.m. here in the city council chamber. And that is, it's posted on the front door, but it's basically for the council, for listening. None of the council will be permitted to respond or talk, and we will let the crowd that's here, you'll have to sign in, and you'll be called on, you'll be able to speak, and we'll give you the guidelines as far as how long you have to speak on any opposition or any proof. But everybody try to get here and be here and join us at this town hall meeting, because the reason it's called a special call meeting, that many councilmen here, there's a form, you have to call it a special call meeting for the intent purpose of listening to residents about city issues and then the county. So that's the way it will be. Next item is community band will have their concert here on the square Thursday, June the 23rd, starting at 7 p.m. It's in front of the city hall. And a reminder about the use of fireworks. The ordinance states that consumer fireworks can only be used June the 28th through July the 3rd, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Other areas that you can use July the 4th from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. and July the 5th, 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Our next regularly scheduled council meeting will be June the 27th, 2022, 7 p.m. here. And there's free admission to the annual concert that will be held here June the 29th, beginning at 7:30. Also, there's free admission to the community band that's here on the 23rd. And that is made possible by a lot of local businesses making donations to the orchestra, Louisville Orchestra, in order for them to play here. But it's free to the public. Bring your lawn chairs and blankets and enjoy. And before we adjourn, I'd like to do 2 things. One, I especially like to thank Councilman Lowry for being here on Zoom, taking time out and being concerned enough that she joined us on Zoom, even though she's out of town. Thank you, Councilman Lowry, and also thank you to the other 7 council members that are here, because this is a lengthy meeting, and I appreciate all